Hi and welcome back to Love on the Brain. I'm your host, Kay Van Dunk, and I help independent women who are single, divorced, or widowed find their soulmates while staying true to their high standards. In each episode, we dive into a frustrating question you may have about love. I'll share some insights and then we'll reframe it with an affirmation or askformation to help you lift your spirits. If you haven't already, please subscribe and leave a great review on whichever platform you're listening to this podcast on. Your reviews help other amazing singles find this podcast too. Okay, let's get started. Today's question is, why do I feel lonely if and when I'm surrounded by loved ones? Even when you have people in your life who care about you and who love you, loneliness can still sneak in. And this often happens when we don't feel seen or understood, because it's not about the number of people around you, but about how strongly connected you feel to them. And true connection really does happen when you feel like this person gets you and you understand them, and it's very much a vibe. I do also see it sometimes, loneliness, especially if you live by yourself. You kind of get to a point where you are alone, but you do also feel lonely because you don't have someone physically in your space to talk to be around, etc. And if you notice that you tend to feel lonely a lot, if you're in a group setting or in a crowded room where you're surrounded by a lot of people even, then that's not about them, that's a you thing, right? So one of the key things you have to do is really figure out what it is that's causing you to feel lonely. Is it that you feel fine at home, but when you're in a setting with certain people, you'll feel lonely? Or is it that you just feel lonely in general? So here's a couple of ways that you can attack this. If you always feel alone, regardless of what setting you're in or whoever you're with, then you need to take a step back and figure out how to reconnect with yourself. What makes you happy? What brings you value? What do you need emotionally that other people are not feeling around you? And where is this coming from, most importantly? Is this something that's a pattern that's been popping up throughout your life, or is it something more recent? Figuring that out and kind of tuning back into yourself can make you feel more grounded, and that should help you not feel alone, especially when you're around other people. If you feel that you're in a setting where you just don't feel connected to people you know and love, then really kind of ask yourself, are you being fully present when you're with them, or are you distracted? And are they the people that should be showing up for you in this pause? Are you showing up authentically as your best self? And really, are they? Are we expecting a little bit too much from people who you know well but wouldn't necessarily consider a close friend to mirror that back to you? Maybe you need more or better friends, or to strengthen the relationships around you that matter most. And finally, if it's a living situation thing, or if you just feel as though this is a kind of situational problem that comes and goes of feeling lonely, get comfortable living in your own space alone, right? One of my friends in junior high used to always say, we come into this world alone and we'll leave it alone, no matter what happens along the way. You are awesome and you should love spending time with yourself. And being alone doesn't have to mean that you are lonely. There are lots of people who live full, flourishing lives and don't have any roommates, don't have any partner in their home with them or anywhere else. And you find a way to fill your time in a way that's meaningful for you. And of course, I know you're probably here because you want a soulmate, but in the meantime, until you find that soulmate, learn to love your own company. Use this time to recharge, to reflect, and really focus on what matters to you before you delve into a relationship. So we're going to reframe the question of why do I feel lonely even when I'm with my loved ones to something a little more empowering. And that's what helps me feel deeply connected to my loved ones, or what helps me feel deeply connected to myself, depending on what's making you feel this loneliness. This little shift will help you to kind of explore what about your situation you can improve on and how you can really strengthen your external connections with the people around you, but also strengthen what's going on the inside of you that makes you feel so alone. It could really lead to some meaningful conversations and open up new experiences with people around you who love you, or even building out some enrichment in your life or in your home space. Either way, it could lead to creating intimacy, whether it's an issue of you feeling disconnected from your loved ones or from yourself. So next time you feel lonely, just take a moment and think about what you can do to feel more connected in that moment. I like to close each episode with a point of gratitude, because gratitude is the highest vibration of all. So think of one thing that you're really grateful for in this moment. As always, I'm grateful that you tuned in and love you for listening. And remember, when love is on the brain, asking better questions can lead to better answers.